Hello, my name is Jack Lewis. I'm a senior at Joliet Central High School and I'm enrolled in Mr. West's Advanced Drafting class. This is my first semester final portfolio update and my final project. So first of all, I did a Key Club keychain, and this was all because my English teacher is the sponsor of Key Club chapter at our school. She attended a conference on art and design careers and saw the capabilities of some laser printers demonstrated there. When she returned, she asked if we'd be able to laser print some keychains with the Key Club logo on to donate and sell for the club. Because we'd not experimented too in depth with the laser printer, this was our first project where we had to learn and develop fundamental skills. First, I went through several different keychain designs in AutoCAD, until I finally came up with one that I felt was adequate size and had a hole for a split ring that wouldn't break. Here's the design. Here, I actually drew this in Inventor first, and then moved the face into Illustrator where I could edit the lines. So next up, we found the image of the club online. That was definitely the easiest part, because up until then, we hadn't understood the image tracing capabilities of Illustrator. So another student, Greg, and I worked for several weeks to figure out how to actually edit the individual lines on the image, and so we could edit each line and either cut it or engrave it and just change the different aspects of the image to make it exactly what we wanted. Once we had a final design, we began testing different speeds and powers on the laser cutter until we had reached a final product that all of us were proud of. The next project Through this project I learned the capabilities of the laser cutter. It was really cool to volunteer time to a club at a school whose members volunteer time to other causes, and this was kind of like where we learned the basis for making our other keychain designs for later on in the year. The next major project we did was we laser cut acrylic signs that had LEDs under the bases so they could light up kind of like neon signs. So these drawings were, I created them in Inventor as kind of just a real quick prototyping for something to hold the signs. Another student, Sam, actually took these measurements and created a final design that had a cutout channel in the bottom that was easier to run wires in and stuff. And it was real cool to see the collaboration between everyone. Here's a 3D PDF where you can actually orbit and look around the final design, and holding it in between the two wood pieces is the piece of acrylic. We chose mirrored acrylic because it's really cool. When the lights are off, you can actually see an image reflected back, and then when you turn on the LEDs beneath the acrylic, it actually shines through the laser cut parts, and it's really cool to see the design lit up inside the acrylic. Here's a couple pictures of our final design. There's a group of the students in our class. There's the final design for the STEM sign that me and Greg completed, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. This project was really cool because I got to learn some new things, like how to program LEDs from a phone and over the Wi-Fi, and it was really cool because I was also able to contribute my part of the project because I understood how to solder and basic electrical components. And I just kind of took what I knew, taught some other kids how to solder and how to calculate basic electrical circuit questions. And it's kind of cool because another thing I took away was just the extent of how just one idea that someone can come up with, but it's when it's combined with ideas from a bunch of other people, it can take new and better forms. So going off of that STEM sign that we created, me and Greg also created more keychains that were similar to the Key Club one, but we made them all with STEM logos to present our academy. This is for towards the end of our semester. A lot of freshmen are looking to figure out what academy to go into, and this class falls under the STEM Academy, which is Science, Technology, Engineering, Mathematics, and we have several presentations and community expositions. Greg and I designed a laser cut acrylic sign for the table, which you'd already seen, and these were the keychains we completed to hand out at the table to just promote interest in the group. This was a really cool project for me because this is my last year at Central, and I know how much I've enjoyed these classes, and it's really cool to try and motivate underclassmen to take the same classes I did, and hopefully just promote engineering and drafting skills within them, because they're skills that you can use your entire life and really benefit from. So the majority of my year so far I've spent on Autodesk Revit. Beginning of the year I wanted to broaden my drafting abilities. I was already proficient in AutoCAD and Inventor, so I wanted to branch out into Revit so I could do some architecture. With Revit you can create 2D floor plans and 3D views all in the same program. Revit also includes a system called BIM, that stands for Business Information Modeling, and it's you're able to place actual components with dimensions in the real world. You're able to place into your drafting so you can create a much more efficiently spaced out and just it's more efficient to create floor plans. You have to, it eliminates guessing, and they're able to put real components in and use them in your drawing, so that there's less guesswork in it. It's a more complete and final drawing. Revit's incredibly user-friendly, and editable characteristics are what led me to choose Revit. I started off a bit too ambitious and took on an 8,000 square foot house without really understanding the program. Because of this, when I completed the project, there were several little details that shouldn't have happened if I really had understood the program. Mr. West then steered me to taking an online Lynda course. Here's the house that I started trying to draw. Did not turn out too well. So here's a basic floor plan and everything I completed. As you can see, the ceiling wasn't quite working. The wall windows were off a little bit. Everything just wasn't quite exactly right. So here is where Mr. West actually led me to take a Lynda class, which was 7 hours online, and it covered every single detail of drawing the house, from the floor to the beams, everything, cutting pockets in the foundation for the beams to sit on. It was more steps than I could have imagined, but it was really nice because going through and drafting each part of the house helped me understand the better process of building a house and where it gets all of its structural integrity from, and just understanding the whole house designing process is a lot easier once you've gone through and done each little step. And with these new skills and stuff that I've learned from Lynda, I'm ready to go back, and I'm more confident now, and hopefully ready to redraw my house that I started at the beginning of the semester, and hopefully it'll be completed with professional real-world accuracy. So here's the floor plans for the house I created on Lynda. I actually have the 3D model pulled up that I'll show after the PowerPoint here. And so here's the floor plans, and here's a couple of the renders from the outside and the kitchen. So this was my main project this year, and it was really cool because it allowed me to go at my own pace and learn a new program that I wasn't familiar with. And now I understand the structure and design that goes into houses, and it's instead of just going into engineering, drafting, or whatever, I'm now able to look into careers for architecture and stuff like that if that's something I'd be interested in the future. So this semester I focused on learning new equipment I was provided with, mainly techniques on this equipment and processes I had already learned. I also adapted to regular problems that arose during each project. All the experiences that I had in class will help me in college with whatever degree and career path I choose. I'm already looking forward to completing my last semester as a steelman and finishing projects in Revit, using the laser cutter, and doing my best to inspire underclassmen and people in our community on the benefits of technology. So this is the end of my PowerPoint presentation, but I also have this Revit pulled up. Not sure where. Not sure. Should be able to see this. Apologize if you can't. I'll clip the video if you can't see this, but here is inside my kitchen, and here is an exterior view, and another exterior view, and this is really cool because these are kind of basic but shaded at the same time, as opposed to what you could see in the final renderings in my PowerPoint. But this is just a really cool program, and it took a long time for me to learn and understand. But once it's understood, it's really neat to be able to go back in and look and understand that these plans are exactly what someone could use to recreate this house in the real world. And I drew this all, and so that's just a really cool thing for me to reflect on this semester. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll watch my next video when I finish next semester.